Hello humans, it's just Martine and welcome to the start of another Netgalley reading vlog. I have 3 books that I'm going to read in today's vlog. Editing Martine, here to tell you that past Martine is incredibly wrong. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Originally, I was going to make it 3, but then as you'll see, stuff happened in the vlog, so, you know, just get on with it. I have started the first one. The first one that I've started is Juniper's Folly, which is a queer YA haunted house story. I hyped that up way too much. I'm actually not enjoying it very much so far. Have no memory of what happened in the first few chapters. I even tried like skimming back earlier today when I was working on it to be like, what happened? And it still didn't fully make sense. We're trucking along. You know, we're trucking along, and I think it's getting to a place where I'll like it more now. But there's this weird gap in the beginning that I'm not sure if I didn't skim correctly or is just not there. Either way, I'm a little confused, but we're gonna work it out. We always do. And then I have other options for what the 2 other books are gonna be, so I'm not gonna set it in stone right now. I'll let you know when I read them. I finished Juniper's Folly by Alex Crespo today, and I'm giving it 3.5 stars. I don't know if I told you the basic premise of this book, and part of me thinks that I did but got it wrong. Part of me thinks that I told you it was a queer middle grade for some reason. A queer YA haunted house story. Regardless, this foster kid he like runs away from his current placement and he ends up trapped in a haunted house. Like, the house won't let him go, and so he's found by this other random dude who then enlists the help of a local teenage witch to try and get this first dude out of the house. And it's a fun time. I didn't connect with the characters initially, but by the end I really liked them, and there were parts of it that I didn't love just because they had more action or something, but overall this was a fun story, and I loved the queer coming of age part of it so much. So yay. And its own voices, which is double bonus awesome, fantastic. This one comes out in next month in June, mid to late June, I'm pretty sure. Oops. Keep your eyes peeled for that one, especially if you like the idea of a queer YA haunted house story, because we have plenty of YA haunted house stories, but I don't know of any queer ones. And if they're out there, then they clearly don't get enough hype, since I can't think of one immediately. But yeah, I had a fun time with this. On to the next one, after I decide what the next one is. Okay, I've actually done a really bad job of updating this vlog, so I've read 2 books since I talked to you last that fit for this vlog, but then it wouldn't be much of a vlog if I just like told you about those 2 books and moved on with my life. Like, there wouldn't really be anything interesting, so I'll probably add like 1 or 2 extra vlogs instead of just making this 3 reviews. So the first one that I read, I gave 3 stars, and that's Girls Like Girls by Haley Kiyoko, which is based on a song that she wrote, but I'm not familiar with the song. I just gave it 3 stars instead of something higher because I genuinely hated the love interest. Like, did not like the love interest at all. And in this book, we're following a girl who moves to a new town, and she is kind of like caught unawares by this popular girl who she falls for, but who hasn't figured out everything for herself. So she's a jerk, and I didn't want them to be in a relationship, and it's hard to read a romance book where you're not rooting for them to be together. So, but the summer vibes were good. And then I read Behold the Monster, which is a nonfiction true crime book about interviewing Sam Little, the most prolific serial killer to date in the United States. And I knew like nothing about Sam Little as a serial killer. I had heard the name, so I knew that he was a serial killer, but I didn't know the extent of everything. And it was really fascinating to hear from the author who interviewed him face to face. She just has had a really interesting career so far in general, and I want to read some of her other books because they're about very interesting and odd things. And so like hearing about the personal relationship that she built up with Sam Little in order to interview him was very weird and interesting, and hearing like just how recently things have wrapped up with that, including the death of Sam Little via complications from COVID-19, was fascinating. But it just didn't have the amount of flow that I wanted it to, and it didn't always hold my attention as much as I was expecting, so I'm giving it 3.5 stars. Hopefully I'll let you know before I start reading anything else for this. This is me trying to do a better job of actually vlogging this instead of just reviewing books, but regardless, the other day I did start A Scenic Hills Summer, which is like a mystery thriller type book, but make it queer, and I'm like almost 20% of the way into it and enjoying it so far. I find our characters to be really interesting. Like, I like that it's different than the normal cast of characters in a mystery, so I don't know where it will go, but like if it continues like this, then I would love to see this become a series with like these characters. Make this the normal, you know what I mean? I've been reading that at night, like before I go to bed. So hopefully in like a couple days, I'll finish it, but I guess we'll see. Hello, I'm here to deliver my review to you for A Scenic Hills Summer because I finished it like a couple days ago. I gave it 3.5 stars. The plot of this one I found to be just okay, but I really like the main character. It does shift perspectives, but it's Colette's book. That's who we're actually following, and that's the character that, like, I think this is a series. It says that this is going to be a series, but there's not even a second book yet on Goodreads, but the author like has announced the title of the second book, so I don't know. I'm stoked about that because our main character, Colette, is a trans woman, and she is also an investigative journalist, and she takes it upon herself to travel in this book to start chasing a crime that like nobody's talking about, that she finds incredibly important, especially because it's largely impacting the queer community. So she goes after it. She does an incredible job, saves some lives while she's at it, and it was just a rip-roaring good time in my opinion. Even though I say like the plot wasn't the best or anything, it was still really both important plot because I think it touched on things that sometimes crime books leave out of crime that is very real about crime though, particularly like vulnerable populations for victimization. And then there was also like a twist behind it that I really enjoyed. It wasn't like a sudden twist, it was like a we knew it and we saw it play out type of twist, but I really enjoyed that nevertheless. I do feel like we got too many perspectives in this. Overall, I enjoyed it, had a good time. I recommend this book. It's a new book. When does it come out? I don't know. I'll leave it here for you to know. It comes out here. It might already be out. You'll know now. That's my review. I think today I finished my last book for this because I think I'm finally happy with like, this is a good ending point for this. And that's because I finished reading Yours for the Taking, which is this sci-fi book. It's technically a utopian dystopian situation where the world is burning. So, you know, nothing has changed from right now basically, and they're like, the earth is going to be unlivable very soon, and so we're going to create these things called insides where people can apply and get in and not be exposed to like the world, and they can be safe as the world continues to burn and everyone else is basically gonna die. And so we're following a couple different perspectives. We're following some people as they start to work for one of the people who runs one of the insides, I think the one in New York City. And then we're also following a person who gets accepted, but whose longtime partner does not get accepted into inside. And we go from there. And oh, I forgot to mention the most important part of this, aside from the fact that it's very queer and I loved it for that. And that's that the inside that we're following is run by this woman who is basically outlawed men from the inside that she owns. She kind of says that like men are the root of all evil in the world, and so if we take men out of society, then we'll fix all the problems we have. And then we get to see whether or not that's the case, or whether it's the structures and privilege that typically come with being male, but can come with other things as well, that mess things up. And it was a very interesting think piece and just very smart, and I really liked it. And again, it was very queer, so I approved. So I definitely recommend this book, and it's set to come out in December of this year. With that, I think I'm good for this reading vlog. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and comment down below. Are you looking forward to any of these books? Have you heard of any of them before now? And subscribe for more reading, writing, and college lifestyle content. And until next time, bye humans, bye!